The motion study is, in simple words, about understanding the ageing process, both from a physical and a mental perspective, over a period of time.
I think the subject matter is the most interesting. We give very little credence to what we eat, when we eat, how it's prepared, actually how our body digests that, and what so many other things hinge on that. And I think coming into this study and getting an idea of the tests that you do gives you an insight into how your gut is in charge of how you think, how you operate, how you feel, and it's such a huge, huge part of your body that probably you don't give any credence to at all. And it's been a real eye-opener, it really has.
This is it's going for 5 years, so it's an important thing, but it is a long-term project and we're only a small part of it. But at the end of the day, the contribution we've made is being consistent and gives you some better idea of what's the best way to go from here.
How the information from that would help shape future treatment.
Coming to here to do this has opened my eyes to so many things, and the other things which are being caused by what is happening in the bowel.
I actually heard about the motion study from a friend who had recently joined, and she talked about it, and I thought, that sounds interesting, and that sounds something that I hopefully can make a contribution to. So I signed up straight away. Yeah.
I was at the time a receptionist at a local doctor's surgery, and two people, I would assume from the department here, came and done a presentation for us, and the gentleman was just so enthusiastic about the subject, and I went home and I gave it some thought. Unfortunately, they only wanted a certain age group and I managed to fit into that. So I sent off the form that he gave us initially, and it went from there.
Well, I came to the talk on the leaky gut, and there were some little sort of postcard-sized cards, and I just picked one up and I thought, well, that sounds interesting. And, so that's how I got involved. I mentioned it to you,
yes.
And he was interested too. So we then approached him, I think, quite early on. I think we were some of the first.
Yes.
I found the process very comfortable, very easy, and very enjoyable. Yeah.
It's a lovely, lovely environment, and you're made to feel very welcome and you're made to feel at home.
It's quite a sort of a fresh building. It's got, it feels, it's a nice building to come into.
There's so much that goes on behind the scenes, I know, but the people that you deal with face to face, you get to know on a regular basis. You build up that wonderful rapport. So it's like coming to see a friend. It's lovely.
I mean, the actual people who are running it are all so very nice.
It's not just a matter of making you feel welcome, but you're an important part of the whole process. Both yourselves as staff and ourselves as the guinea pigs. Because anything that we notice, which you may not, if we make a point of mentioning it, then it all adds to the general information you've got about the effects of what you're doing.
Supportive, really supportive, and you really feel you're making a difference. You may only be a very, very small cog in a big machine, but you're made to feel that your part is just as important. So it was really rewarding. I should be sorry it's coming to an end now.
What I've been particularly pleased with is the appreciation shown. And that it's just those little touches, you know, that actually says, yeah, thanks Derek, you know, for coming along today, for spending a couple of hours, really appreciate that, you know.
It is a commitment and you have to take that on board when you join. Although they kept saying at any time you can pull away from the study, that wasn't an option for me. For me, if you go into something, it's important you see it to its fruition. And I knew I had the time that I could afford for that.
It's something that I genuinely have enjoyed, have looked forward to and found it interesting, you know. If I can make a contribution in the understanding of the factors that affect the ageing process, both physical and mental, that's got to be a good thing, particularly if that goes on to improve the treatment and therapy for people in the ageing process.
Well, it's very difficult for researchers to maintain all the volunteers.
Please do it, please do it. Without this research, without this understanding, we can't move forward. We can't move forward with any medical conditions. It may not be a cure, but it may be a preventative and it may delay some of the medical conditions, particularly in an older demographic that we're now experiencing. So please go for it. If you have the time to give that commitment, please do it. I've thoroughly enjoyed it.